Hello everybody, this is Maggie. Welcome to my channel. To my subscribers, thank you. To the newcomers, welcome and thank you. I'm really excited to create this beautiful piece today, this table runner with the windmill flowers and the leaves and some pearls. Anyway, it's gorgeous. You will need 12 flowers and 16 leaves. So my opinion to you is do all your flower first, leave the green leaf out. The tutorial on the windmill flower is already on there. All you have to do is just go into it and follow it if you want this flower. If not, then you're welcome to create your own. And the leaf too, it's on the butterfly, how to create butterflies. So I have the tutorial on there too. So it's best to do the flower first and leave the little leaves out, because then at the end, when you're doing the little leaves, you can adjust already into your patterns and into your leaves. I also suggest that you do your leaves, your 16 leaves, and you can just get it ready. For people that already know how to crochet for a long time, well, they can calculate and they can see more or less where they're going to fit their leaves in to give enough space in between the flowers and the leaves. For the people that are not too used to it, I suggest that you do your leaves first, and then you could always come back with the yarn and tie it up. I show you on the tutorial as I made this table runner, the tutorial on this. I'm showing also on the video how to tie it up, and you won't even like see it, that it was not attached with a needle. It was tied up with yarn, and you just hide your yarn, so it's a lot easier and a lot faster too. So that's my opinion for you guys. So we're going to get ready to create this beautiful, as you can see, this beautiful table runner. It's got these beautiful leaves also into the middle piece of the table runner, you know, like zigzag. It's gorgeous. And as you can see on the picture, what it looks like. So let's get started. And again, thank you everybody, and I hope you enjoy doing this table runner as much as I did. Thank you so much. Let's go do it. Okay, you guys, as you can see, the beautiful pattern that we have here, and I'm gonna add the flowers onto it and give the tutorial at the same time. It is gorgeous. It's got this little, I don't know what you call it. Anyway, little leaves, let's say. Going to one side, going to the other, going to one side, going to... Very easy to make, very economic. Not hard at all. And you can make the wideness you want, and also the length you want. Just add more rows to it. And as far as wideness, it's every 12 stitch for each motif of flowers here. So you pretty much, you can do already the size you want. You can go by 68. That's like bigger than this. Instead of having 4 motifs, it's gonna have 5. This one I made with 56 stitch. I think it's wide enough, especially after it has flowers on there. I don't think we need to, I don't think we need to. It depends upon you, how much you want to, how wide you want it, and how huge, and so on and so forth. So these flowers will be adding onto it. Of course, you will see the picture at the beginning, at the end of the video, and it's just another flower here. I'm just putting it to test now. You know me, I put everything to test. So I'm going to be using these flowers, not these ones, but because I had two made, so I'm working around it to see how well it's going to work. But this is more or less what it's going to look like, but you'll know, you'll see at the end. So we're going to get started on making a chain of 56 stitch. Okay, so like I said, if you want it larger, then you add 12 more. If you want it even smaller than this, instead of having 4 motifs here, 4 leaf motifs, it will be to 3. So you need to take out 12 more from the 56. Okay, so we're going to do our principal knot as usual, and we're going to count 56 stitch. So 1, 2, 3. You never count the one that you make the knot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on. 56 of them. Okay, so we've done the 56 stitch. We are going to count back 5 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your fifth, go in. Oops. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So on your fifth, my hands are slippery. I've been working too much. And you're going to do for each stitch. Now, it is best when you're doing this to have a nice straight line, perfect straight line. It's best that you grab this side, back side loop only, and not both in the middle. Okay, so you can have the perfect line up front. Okay, so you grab back side only, and we're going to do all of these stitches, chains on every single one of them until the end. Okay, so grab your back loop like so. And again. So I'm going to do it until the end. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we've done it until the end. Of course, we're not going to do where the knot is, or else everything will come apart. So we go up 1, 2, 3, turn our work, and going to the next one. We're going to do 5 stitch next to each other. So we have 5 stitches. Now, as you can see here, we have one that has separation. Okay, so now there's 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No space, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And on our third one, we're going to go in 1, 2, 3. And we're going to create the leaf. With 5 stitch inside. 3, 4, 5, as you can see here. Sorry. So 5 stitch, no separation, 1, 2 on your third one, 5 stitch inside. Now we're going to do 2 stitch separation, 1, 2, and we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your fifth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On your fifth one, we're going to create 5 chain, one next to the other. So next one, so it's 2 chain, 3 chain, 4 chain, 5 chain. So now we have 5 chain. Again, we're going to create this leaf. It repeats the same thing. 5 chain like here, 5 chain like here. No separation. We're going to create this leaf again. So no separation. We're going to count 1, 2 on our third one. We're going to do our leaf. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, we created our leaf with 5 stitch in, 5 stitch inside. Okay, so now we're going to create again 2 stitch separation, and we're going to do the 5 again. So it's repeatedly until the end the same thing. 1, 2 separation, 1, 2, 3, 4. On our fifth one, we do our so 3, 4, 5. So now we've created our 5 again. Again, we're going to repeat the same thing until the end. Again, we're going to create the leaf right after the 5 stitches here. So 1, 2, 3 on our third one. We're going to create 5 inside the same one, and then 2 separation and 5. We're going to do that until the end because it's repeatedly. There's nothing to it. This is what it is. So 5, no separation, 1, 2, 3, 5 inside, 2 separation, 1, 2, 3, 4. On the fifth one, we create 5 more. No separation, 1, 2, 3, 5 inside, 2 separation, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 more. So it always repeats until the end. Okay? See you at the end. We've reached the end with our last leaf. 1, 2, 3, 4. On our fifth one, we're going to create 5 more, which is the last 5. 4, 5, and there you go. We're going to go up 3 times, 1, 2, 3, turn our work, and we're going to create the same 5 inside of the ones below. It's always going to be the same 5 from beginning until the end. 5's in the middle and the 5's at the end. So this is always going to be repeat all the time, same row. Now here, no separation. We're going to go into our first stitch here, and we're going to create 5 inside of the same loop in the same stitch. So 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 inside with no separation. Now we do 1, 2 separation, and we go into the middle stitch, which we're going to do the 5 on top of one another. So very simple, not complicated. You just have to pay attention to the first few lines, and then you're going to do this with your eyes closed. Now, no separation into the first one again, because we're going to zigzag these flowers, well, flowers, leaves, whatever we want to, bush, whatever we're going to call them. So we're going to, again, do 5 more inside of the same one. So we have 4, 1 more, 5. Now, we're going to do 1, 2 separation, and we're going into the middle ones here again to do the 5. My brain is like shut today. I don't know why. Guess I'm just overtired. And we're going to do these 5 here. So we're zigzagging. Now the next round we're going to do them here, right? Because it will be turned around, so it will be here. So it's zigzag. Very simple to do, not hard at all. So again, no separation. We go into the first one and create 5 inside of there to create our leaf, our flower, our bush, whatever we want to call it. Okay, now 2 chain separation into the next 5. So very simple, people, not complicated at all. And it's a beautiful pattern. Again, no separation into the next leaf. On the first one, we create 5 more inside the same one. One, 2, and we do the last 5. We turn our work, and it's repeatedly the same 5. So 3, and we continue on. So there's nothing to it. And then you go up on the length that you want it. So we've turned our work, we've done 5. Now we got to create the leaf on this side, right? It's automatic. It's always on the first one. You cannot go wrong. So we're going to create 5, 3, 4, 5. 2 separation, and then to the next 5. So very simple to do, not complicated at all. You just have to pay attention to know where there is no separation and a 2 chain separation. So continue doing that, the length you want, and I'll meet you at the end. On this one here, I have 56 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 56 rows, people. So it's a big one, okay? If you don't want 56, then cut down 12. Or if you want more, then go higher 12, okay? I'll meet you at the end so we can do the last stitch, like here, together. Okay, so now that we've done all of our rows, we're going to do this last row, And I'm going to show you how. You have to, once you do your rows, make sure that you are going to turn your work on your last row there to the front. So we can have the same stitch facing the front and not the back. You know what I'm saying? Not the back like this to the front. So we need to make sure that the last row you do here is facing the back part, so you can start on your front part of the pattern. So you're going to have the same stitch facing you on top. So obviously this last one will have to be the reverse side, the bad side. So we're going to do the right side so it can come out like this, which is very, very simple. So you finish your last row and you're going to go up 3, stitch, 1, 2, 3. We're going to do our chains on every single one of them. So we're going to do our 5 chains here. On this, the 2 space stitch, we are going to do, we're going to grab the back chain like that, and we're going to do 2 stitch because it's a 2 space chain, right? And then we go into the leaf, the flower, if you want to call it, and we're going to stitch one on top of the other. Now don't loosen your stitch too much because we want it to have a straight line, and if you loosen too much the stitch on top of the flower, it's going to give like a mountain. We don't want that. We want it to be as firm, straight as possible. So in other words, don't bring out your yarn too high. Make sure it's tight enough on the needle so you can have that straight exact stitch and not a mountain because of the flower there. So we're going to do exactly the same thing throughout this whole row, which is stitch over stitch. Now you can go in if you want, if you feel more comfortable going in this way, but I don't think it finalizes as perfect. So in order to look like the bottom one, grab it from inside of the middle of the stitch, grab the back one, and bring it out. Again, 2 stitch in there on the 2 stitch separation, and then go into your regular flower leaf one and make sure it's not loose so we don't have a mountain. So give it a nice tight stitch. And then into the next one. So it's going to be like that, repeated until the end. Okay, since we finished here, and we finished with the last one on the 3rd stitch on the corner of the last stitch underneath. So we started here with 56 stitch. Now going back and doing our 1st stitch on the 5th, we end up with 53 53 stitches. Well, so we have 53 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, so on, 53. And on the top, when you finish, you're supposed to have exactly the same amount, 53 of them. in order to match the same size as the bottom. So you can't go wrong. You have to have the same amount, 53 on beginning and at the end. Now we're going to cut the yarn. We're going to cut the yarn here, and we're going to hide our, if you don't want to change color, you can continue with the same yarn if you want to keep it the same color. I'm not keeping the same color, so you know me and colors. So I am going to hide my yarn. I need my smaller needle because it's always best to hide the leftover yarn. So I like to make a knot always. So I'll make a knot on this first one here, and then I'll pull through the other ones until I am comfortable with it and know that my yarn is well hidden and secure, that when you're going to wash it, or if you're giving it as gifts or you're selling, I don't know, whoever's going to wash it, nothing is going to come apart because it's been already in between loops and knots and things like that. Anyway, even if it stays a little linen on the outside, it doesn't matter because we're going to work it, we're going to hide it. So there's more security on that again. So we're going to grab a yarn, make a knot, color of your choice, or keep the same one. If you're keeping the same one, you would just like grab your yarn from the edge and just come and make a stitch on it. So we're going to have a stitch on here, make it secure enough. And we're going to do 1, 2. With this one makes 3. We're going to go in again. 2, 3, and 4. And this is optional. You don't have to do it, or if you have any different way of finishing, that's fine too. 1 stitch and back in. So it's going to stay like this. And then we are going to come to the next one. 1, 2, 3. We're going to repeat the same thing. 2, 3, and 4. 1 stitch. So we're going to do that 1 stitch, and we're going to go automatically into the next one to close it in so it can slide as a leaf, sliding leaf, let's say. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do the same thing again. So it's repeatedly all the way around. 3, 1 more, 4. 1 stitch and going to the next side loop because we're doing the side. Okay. Now, if you see that it's too close, let's say it's too scrambling up, we could always do less leaves, let's say. But the choice is yours. I mean, you see how best fits your pattern. We can go all the way from the beginning here where we put that stitch inside of the same one. We can do our 4, and we can do once we have that 1 stitch, we go into the next one, and then the next one. 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do the 4. So sometimes I have to go back and forth on them to see which one plays out best. So I think this way plays out best. It's not as crowded as each one. So we'll do it this way. And that's usually how I come up with my patterns. I work around it and see which one best fits the pattern, how well it looks, which way looks better, gives it character. So I'm doing this together with you, and we're creating it together. So I'm not creating it alone, creating it with you. So we close it in on that space. We go to the next space. 1, 2, 3. But hey, if you want it a little bit crumpled up, then you do every single stitch. I think it looks better this way. It's nice and neat and stretched out, because then we're going to add our flowers and leaves in between them. So 1 stitch, close it down, and they stay like this. So we're going to work this all the way through to the end. So again, I'm just going to repeat it again, just so you know. So we put 1 stitch down, we go into the next one, and we put another stitch down. We go up 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, 4. 1 stitch. Don't make it too loose. Make it tight enough, okay? If it's too loose, it's not gonna bend as we want to. So, and this is it. So work on yours until the end, and we'll come to the end on the other side like this, and we'll work it together. See how we're gonna work that part. So having our 47 rows, including the last ones, total of 47. Doing the edge here, the last one here before the corner, and it's just perfect without even calculating it. Imagine that. So you close it up, and you go to the last corner one, and you do your 3, 2, 3, and 4. 1 stitch. Go on the same one so it doesn't stretch it out. And now I'm going to go on the first one here in between, like that. 1, 2, 3. On the same one, we're going to do the 4. 1 stitch. I'm going to allow you just to see where it's going to fall. So it's going to fall after 1, 2 on the third one. So we skip 1, 2 on our third one. And we go from here. We're not going to be doing skipping 2 of them, okay? Because we're already skipping here. Again, on the same one, we're going to do 4. 1 stitch, 1, 2 on our third one. So it's going to end up like this. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 4 in here. 1 stitch. Whoop. 1, 2, and on our third one we lock it in. I think it looks pretty good. Okay, so I took them down, and you know where I said to give one stitch after the fourth one? Don't, just go automatically into it so it doesn't crumple up too much. So 3, 2, 3, and the fourth one. Just go directly, no stitch separation. 1, 2, and on the third one we start again. I think it lays out better this way. 2, 3. On the same one, we're going to do the 4 little sticks there, as I call them. 1, 2. On the third one, lock it in. So we're going to do that repeatedly until the end. At the end, we need to make that little corner one, and then we continue on the same way on the other side. I've noticed coming to the corner here, we have one left after we stitch this here, right? So because we only have one left, we're going to get out of here, do one stitch here, and let's automatically go and do the stitch here so we can have the corner one and no issues. So now we go into this one. Well, actually, we need one stitch. We're going to do one stitch and automatically on the side one. And we're going to repeat the same thing as we did on this side. So they both have to match up. Now, on this one here, we're going to do this loop. So you're supposed to end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's start from the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 with the corner one. Okay, so 18 of these from this end to this end. And then we start on this side, which we have to do the same thing as we did in order to match. So we got this, we automatically go into the next one. So because we have to have the same amount on both sides or else it's going to look handicapped, right? So we managed to make sure that we are okay. One stitch and go automatically into this side. Now we should be okay. Now we did this stitch. Now we go into the next loop, which is this one here to this one. And we should come up with equal amount on both sides. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so we're done at the end. We have 18 on this side and 18 on this side. So we're going to cut our yarn and we're going to get ready to add leaves and flowers.